Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to A Better Lifestyle. Today I have once again on my podcast Cherif Medawar. Welcome back, Cherif.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So we're gonna continue. This is part two of our discussion in regards to raising capital when you have no money. Last time when we left off, we were talking, I believe, the first deal sometime is the hardest, and then you elaborate on a lot of stuff. I want to continue in that because as they go, like you're doing your first deal, what are some obstacles that you see that people might face in regards to raising capital when they're starting off?
So, in regards to raising capital, the first and most important thing is the individual has to have the proper structure. So, there are syndications where an individual can set up with a real estate attorney that specializes in Securities and Exchange Commission regulations, like it's called the SEC in the United States, and every country has some organization, government organization that controls the activities of raising money from people and deploying the money to buy on their behalf assets, business, or real estate. So in the United States, I'll talk about the United States since I know it best. I'm an expert in it. The SEC has regulations that say if you want to raise money, you can raise money for an individual transaction, like an apartment building or a storage facility, and you will set up a syndication whereby you're going to be able to tell them, listen, I'm filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. They know what I'm doing. I'm following the rules. And I would like you to give me so much money because we're going to buy this building. So, based on what people give them, they will actually pay a return. And when they sell the property, they'll pay from the upside gain a percentage to the investors. That syndicator, the person that sets up this, does not have to be accredited. That means does not have to have a high net worth, does not have to have a high income, and does not have to be an expert in all real estate things. They may just know apartment buildings. They may just know storage facilities. And they can set it up and raise money from high net worth people or from 35 not accredited people, like 35 people that are not accredited. It depends on the regulation they will choose. That's one way to do it, syndication. A better way to do it is to set up a real estate fund because it's not just one asset. You can raise money for many different things. So you set up a fund. I specialized in debt funds. We set up all kinds of things for people. I have my in-house attorneys, etc. But debt funds are by far the best. This is the highest level of conducting real estate business because you set up a fund and you say, I'm going to keep running and I'm going to pay people when they invest with me, I'm going to pay them a fixed return. So if they give me, let's say, 25,000 to 250,000, I'll pay them 6% per year. Flat, that's simple interest. If they give me 250,000 or more, I'll give them 8% per year. And that way, they attract people that want steady, reliable income, and they can buy an apartment building, they can raise more money and buy a single tenant building, they can buy a storage facility, a shopping mall, build the land, etc. And this is the best way to grow because it's like instead of buying one stock in the stock market, you're buying a mutual fund that has many different assets. So the risk is lower. The profits, then when that individual, the fund manager, sells the properties, all the upside is his or hers. So you will have to do 5 syndication deals to make what you can make in one real estate fund. And investors in syndications have to wait 5 years. They're stuck 7 years sometimes. But in real estate funds, they have the liquidity. They can cash out with a 1 year notice. They can come back in. They can add money. They can compound the return. 8% compounded because we make the payments semi-annually, like February 28th and August 31st. Anybody investing in a real estate fund, they can say, I don't want to get paid out every 6 months. I want to reinvest my money. 8% per year compounded for 10 years is 12% annual rate of return. And then if they continue for 20 years, it will be 20% annual rate of return. That's not IRR. That's ARR. IRR is internal rate of return. Internal rate of return is often not achieved. It's a hype. It's a number that you have to calculate and figure out their tax benefits and their upside gain and then their cash flow, very hard to calculate. Why are you calculating somebody's tax benefits? That's a bonus. So a lot of syndications just like say, hey, listen, what's important to you? We're going to save you some money on your taxes. Well, taxes is the problem of the investor. I, as a fund manager, got to be set up to bring people more money, not bring them tax savings. Tax savings, they could do so much. They can do a lot with tax savings. They can buy one property on their own and get depreciation, etc. So really the proper way to be set up to raise money is to set up a real estate fund. It's called a debt fund, whereby people are investing with you, but you're paying them steady return. It's something you can sleep at night with. You can make the money for the investors, make the money for you. And eventually, as you build assets, you can refinance, cash out the investors, and keep the assets forever. You're never under the obligation to sell them. It can be a legacy for the individual setting it up and for their family. And they can literally start with less than $30,000 and be up and running, acquiring millions of dollars in buildings. That's the real estate debt fund that I help people set up. And we've helped dozens and dozens of people with great success stories.
Sorry, I was on mute. In regards to the objections, what I was saying before, sometimes someone might start, but they have no experience. So one of the common obstacle that they will face is like the people will say, "Well, you have no track record, you have no experience." So how can people overcome that, especially if you're trying to do a big deal in the commercial space?
Well, somebody with no experience shouldn't be doing a big deal. They should actually, like we said in the previous call, they should start by, partnering with somebody. First of all, the first step in life is somebody has to learn, has to acquire the knowledge. As a matter of fact, the skill that somebody must have that can help all other skills for the rest of their life is the skill of learning how to gain knowledge, learning how to learn. And most people are lost with the terminology. Like they read a paragraph, they come to the end of it, they don't know what they read. They're like, I don't even understand what I read. They go to school, they attend the class, their mind is blown. They just don't even get it. Why? Because for everything, there is a formula. And somebody who has no experience got to start with the theoretical knowledge. Read a book, watch a video, attend an event, network with people, compose the right questions. Because in the beginning, you don't even know what you don't know. Like that lowest level of knowledge. I don't know what I don't know. Then somebody mentions something to me, you can buy a property and the seller can carry the financing. Oh, now I know that I don't know. See, I know something, I didn't know about this. So now I know that I don't know. Next level is I know about it. Okay, tell me a little bit more. Well, instead of going to the bank, the seller can say, you owe me the money. You got to give him some money and then you make payment. Oh, okay. So I go from I don't know what I don't know. So I know that I don't know. I know about it. And then they go out there and practice. Then they know it. And they can know it so well that they can tell others, listen, I can do this for you. Then they can attract the people with the money. They can attract other people with similar knowledge. I know how to get a deal creatively, and you know how to fix the property. So let's team up. And with my knowledge, I'm going to get the deal, but you got the contractor thing, and we got this guy's going to get the money. So the guy is going to be attracted to the money. The lady attracted with the money is because we got all the parts for her. And there are some people that are so good at putting the pieces together, but if they don't have the knowledge of what pieces they need to put together, they need to watch programs like this, like what you're doing right now, is you're helping people gain the first steps of knowledge. So, and how do you gain knowledge? How do you learn things? You first understand the words, define all the words. If there is something that's taking you a while to do, if there is, you cannot write an email, you cannot respond to a contract, you cannot get into a partnership because there are some words you don't know. Define all the words that come with the business you want to do, and your knowledge go up. That's number one. Number two, move step by step, like learn this part, understand it, then move to the next higher part, to the next part, to the next part. You can't go set up a real estate fund, which is the highest level, when you haven't done the first deal, you haven't had one partnership, you haven't raised a penny, you haven't even built your own credit. So there are steps to get there. And first step is gain the theoretical knowledge. Number two, build some credit, your own credit. I gave examples in the first session how you can deposit and borrow against that. You can get credit cards, like store credit cards, and build credit on yourself. Then go start finding things you can buy and sell for more money. And through that process, you got a network because now you're ready to practice what you learn. And when you practice, you're going to meet people. So see what they want, how you can help them, how you can add value to others. So once you have the knowledge and you build credit and you can start buying and selling and getting some partnership even on small scale, then you're going to build your credit and build your network, and you can get to the next level where you can buy bigger assets and sell them and reduce your taxes through many ways to reduce taxes. And then you go to the next level where you can say, okay, now I can do deals for myself. I can attract investors, have them give me the money. I can do bigger deals. And now that you have the knowledge through practical experience and a good network, you set up a real estate fund, and then you can go to the next level. But it's very dangerous to try to jump in the water without knowing if it's hot or cold, if it's dangerous, if there are alligators, if it's too deep, if you know how to swim, etc.
So you're saying like the education part is the number one skill to have?
Yes, and it's through life, and not just the beginning. That's why it's a skill that a person has to have a thirst for. Like they have to be an insatiable need to keep learning. I have an interest in people. I'm just naturally interested in people. So I'm interested, oh, what do you do? And how did you get there? And what made you meet this person? What made you do that? So then you extract from people stuff that they may have not wanted to share. So you learn not just by reading a book or attending an event or listening to podcasts like this and watching videos of how people did it, is by also going and asking people the questions. And don't let them tell you something you didn't get that. Stop them and say, okay, what do you mean by escrow? Oh, that's the entity between the buyers and the sellers. What do you mean a deed? What's a deed? A deed is the ownership of the property. So make them help you define the words. And today, with our iPhones or smartphone, we can define any word. I was conversing with somebody in a different language, just simply using my phone. I just put the Google Translate and talk and started talking, translating to the person. They had an iPad and they were showing me this, and the guy speaks Greek and I'm speaking English. And how beautiful the world is today! So much easier with the internet. So that's what it is.
So what do you see mistakes beginners do at the beginning?
The mistakes people do is in every step as they grow, they get impatient with themselves. For instance, they want to build credit. They don't understand the process will take about 6 months. You got to get some credit cards, you got to withdraw some cash, you got to deposit it, you got to borrow against it, then you got to actually pay it earlier. Then the bank starts realizing that you're building credit, and they give you more credit lines. So that process takes time. If a person is impatient, they start making mistakes. Why? Because they start over leverage themselves or making mistakes. Then the next thing is they go into a relationship, they are networking, and they see that the other person making money, and they say, can you just give me money? Can you help me? Can you help me? No, it's an exchange of value. Life is an exchange of value. There is charity, that's one thing, where people give money to the poor to help. But this person is trying to invest. So if somebody coming trying to invest and say, help me, the first thought I'm thinking of is, what can you do with me so we can help each other? Oh, I don't know anything. You don't understand. My father used to beat me. My mother left me. I immigrated. I came here. I went. Well, let me tell you my stories then. If you were going to go into the negative, everybody's got a problem. So I'm looking for somebody. He says, help me. Okay, how can I help you? Well, I'm going through divorce, but I'm a good contractor, and I cannot put the stuff new in our name because then the judge is going to say this and okay. Well, listen, let's work it out. Settle this divorce situation so we can do something we don't have to hide from anybody, and then we can do this, and you can do that, and we can do this. And are you interested? Yes. Now, he may not be interested because he may be greedy. That's another mistake. So people have this need of, I need to make it quickly, so I'm going to either beg, or I'm going to lie, or I'm going to steal, and that's how people fall. Get everything done step by step by step and be happy about your present condition in life, because the game of life is constantly improve your present condition. You take it like a game, you will be outside the problem, looking at it creatively. You're going to take it as a problem to be solved. You're constantly in agony. Now, the other problem is as soon as people get credit, they get so impatient with themselves, they go and over leverage. Over leverage. The other mistake I see is people start making money and they start having good credit, and they don't think anymore at like 500,000 to 1 million. Now they see a deal for $6 million and they get very frustrated and very upset at themselves. It's never enough. I'm talking to people, they're not giving me the money. I need to set up this, I need to do that. Listen, I know that's a great deal at 6 million, it's worth 7 million. And 1 million is wonderful, but you're not there yet. If you go get that money and somebody's crazy enough to loan you hard money loans at 12% and whatever, guess what you did? You over leveraged. And now you can't even think about how you're going to do the deal. You're going to fall and make other people lose money with you. And now you're delayed another 10 years to recover from that problem. So they go into bigger deals than necessary, over leverage, get impatient. And I'm telling you, we all fall into that. We all fall into it because we constantly want to grow. So one of the most important things in life is to say, okay, let me track where my money goes. All my expenses, write them down. Keep very good track of your expenses. Then find out where your money is coming from and what other avenues can bring you money. What's then the best amount of work that will give me the most return? It's like the 80-20 rule. It's like, oh, I'm spending 20% of my time on this, but it's bringing me 80% of my profit. Why am I doing these other things? Let me now work out to eliminate the stuff that wastes my time, that's not adding any value to my life, and be more productive. People waste so much time with like losing relationships, just old friends from high school or from college that they're hanging around with. Listen, life is made of minutes, of life, of moments. Go network with people with whom you're going to exchange value. They're going to add something to your life. You're going to sell a building to them. They're going to buy, you're going to buy a building from them. It's not just, oh, let's go have dinner and have fun and laugh. Maybe once a week, go spend a couple hours on that. But the real focus and momentum, you look at any person who made it big, they paid the price. You don't have to wake up at 4 in the morning. But when you wake up, whenever you wake up and you slept enough, have a plan and work the plan and create a climate around the execution of the plan that makes it more nurturing for people to be attracted to exchange value with you. I'm sorry I talk so much theoretical stuff, but it is what it takes to make it, you know?
Uh, when you deal with investors, one of the things that investors are looking for, besides the return, they want to know like about risk management so they don't lose money. So how do you communicate that in a proper way to make the investor feel comfortable in the deal?
Excellent. There are 6 principles that a person should be able to present when they present their offer to somebody. And many people don't even know how to present a deal. Like you tell them, okay, you want me to go into this deal? Tell me about it. Oh, it's such a good deal. Oh, it's 7 million, but you can get it for 6 and we're going to do this. Okay. They don't understand how to present. So the ability to present it is very important. But the 6 principles that I tell people must be communicated and must be their principles in doing business, especially when they raise money, especially when they borrow from the bank, etc. Is number 1 is safety. The safety, when you're going to acquire an asset, there has to be a safety factor. And how does the safety come in? It's got to be a very good price. It's got to be a great opportunity for an upside added value that's going to happen. That's why it's a safe deal, because it's got a built in some equity. It's got a built in some opportunity to split it, to add this, to add that. So the safety factor. Number 3 is the location itself adds to a safety, because there is good drivers of business, there's good traffic, there is good location, it's residential, it's good schools, good view. So all these add to the safety. And I can go more and more, but I want to cover the other points. The second one, either good cash flow or good cash out. So if it's not cash flowing now, I know It's safe enough because the price I paid, and I'm going to get to the cash flow because I'm going to spend so much cash to rehab it and it's going to start cash flowing wonderfully soon. Or I'm going to spend this and I'm going to flip it and sell it. It's going to cash out. So, number one is the safety. Number two is the cash flow or cash out. Number three is the liquidity. How liquid is this? Can I borrow against it? Can I get a credit line? If I want to get a partner, would they be attracted? Yes, because great location and good property with huge potential. So, number three is the liquidity. Number four is reserves. Will I be able to have some cash reserves in my transaction that if I discover that when we destroyed this wall, all the pipes need to be changed, I have the money? Or am I going to be cut short with my pants down because I don't have enough money to do it? So there has to be some reserve, some cushion of money accessible for me to continue. So now I have safety, cash flow or cash out, liquidity, and I'll have reserves. And the next thing I'm going to have is I want diversification. If I'm raising money, I don't want all the money in one deal in one place. This is the mistakes indicators make. Market went bad, all of them that bought at 2021. Guess what? 2022, 23 till now, we're in 2026. They're still trying to sell me properties they have. There's a lot of people lost money. Why? They were not diversified. They were not in different locations. It happens to anybody. So, gotta have diversification by asset type, by location, and style of investing. I repeat, by asset type, residential and commercial, apartment buildings and single tenant buildings that come with a corporate guarantee, land development, and maybe existing multi units. So diversification by type of asset, diversification by location, maybe one in Los Angeles, one in Jacksonville, Florida, one in Dallas, Texas. So you're diversified by location, or greater Los Angeles, not all in one city, one zip code. The other thing is by style of investing. One I'm going to fix and sell, the other I'm going to fix, refinance, and keep it for the cash flow. So style of invest. So that's number five is the diversification. Number six is what I call plan B, plan C, plan D, because the market is going to change. It's not if it changes, it's going to change. We have war with Iraq. Finish with Iraq. We got war to handle with Russia and Ukraine. Now France, the president is upset because he's got a big ego and he wants to fight with Trump, who's got a bigger ego. Okay, so what do? I don't care. I don't care what they do all that. I want to know how it's going to affect my investments. So what do? I have to have a plan B. I can't sell now anything because the interest went up. So guess what I do? I say, all right, I'm going to rent it. Oh, the long-term rental is not going to be good. I'm going to rent nightly. Oh, nightly is not good. You know what? I'm going to actually rent it. I contacted the movie companies. They want something ultra luxury because they use it for Hollywood thing. And I said, okay, I'll rent it for you for this and that. Oh my God, 1,500 a night. That's amazing. That's how they do it. And then you got to constantly be ready with these things. Safety, cash flow or cash out, liquidity, reserves, diversification, and various plans for fallback. I may not get a lot, but I'll get some cash flow until I'm able to sell it. Or maybe I sell it and do a carry back, etc. So this is how a person mitigates the downside and reduces the risk. And with all that, you may still fail. But if you fail after all that, you can go sleep at night comfortably. Nobody's going to come after you. And if you go to court and you say, I've done all this, any judge will say, well, this person doesn't control wars between countries. This person doesn't control interest rates of a government. This person doesn't control a neighborhood that just had crime all of a sudden spike 50%. And that's just what happens. That's how it works in the world of investing.
Uh, how do you, what's the difference between someone who wins and someone who loses in this game of real estate?
To win or lose in the game of life or game of investing, game of business, you have to approach winning or losing with the same level of enthusiasm. That means I am playing the game and I'll play to the best of my ability to score and win with the team I have. And I cannot be upset at the obstacles and the game that is played against me. I cannot be upset at the city planning office saying, well, we need this and that. Oh, the city inspector says this cannot be done like this. You got to redo it. This is part of the game. This is like I'm playing volleyball and I'm upset because they're spiking against me. It's part of the game. And if I accept that and I work with that, I will win as long as I keep playing the game. The only loser is the one who takes it too seriously, succumb to the pressure, revolts, gets upset, and gives up. And that's the difference.
Last words in regards to everything we talk about, your experience, your journey. What do you have to say to people who are in the real estate game and want to take their game to a next level?
The, that's great. The most important thing, of course, you're going to have knowledge. Of course, you're going to take action, but you're one person. You got to understand that the third element of success is your network. So build a structure like a real estate fund that will attract a network of people that are investors, or network of people that also have other funds or syndication where you can do joint ventures with them. People will invest with you. People will want to work in your projects. People want to bring bigger money. And the network is going to be what makes it. So how do you network? You build your value with your knowledge and action with results, and you build long-term relationships. I can tell you that the wealthy is going to be eventually the person who holds on to assets. So imagine if you have a structure that gives you the opportunity to hold on to assets, not just for you, but for your kids and grandkids. That's a real estate debt fund. Nothing compares to it. Nothing. Syndication, you have to sell every 5 years. If you refinance in a syndication, you have to pay the investors down. That's the law. In a debt fund, you raise the money, you invest, you buy another building, you refinance, you can take it to buy something else. Eventually, the values go up. You refinance, you've been paying them 6 and 8% or whatever. You refinance, you pay them all off, and all these assets stay with you. And you've done everything right. The investors are happy because of the relationship is performing as promised. The other investors that partners on deals, or other syndicators or other fund managers, are happy because you added value to them. And if you live your life like this, how can I do for the greater good? How can I do to build a bigger pie? Eventually, that whole process and the effort that you've done in the beginning makes life look like it's getting easier. You just got better. Because the most important calculation is how the correct decision is compounding into something wonderful in life. And a bad decision can actually compound in a negative way through life. And you see people go into bankruptcy, 10 years to recover. 10 years of agony, 10 years of not having the best credit, 10 years of having to disclose this and that and running behind, etc. To give you an example. When I started my career, I went not to a small hotel. I wanted to be in the hotel business. I started with the Century Plaza Hotel in the early 80s, which was called the most perfect hotel in the world. Century Plaza Hotel was a Western hotel near Beverly Hills in Century City. And Century Plaza Hotel catered to the biggest movie stars, biggest names in the world in terms of politicians. It was called the Western White House. Ronald Reagan used to stay there. The wealthiest people in the world used to stay there. So I met there a billionaire, Edmond Bessari, who said, I've never seen somebody work so hard. Come and work for me. So what happened is I made one right decision. I don't want to work for a smaller hotel. I had offers for smaller companies like Ramada Inn and whatever, BS companies, whatever. And they wanted to pay me more, but I started with them as a management trainee with the Century Plaza because I said, I'm going to go to the best city, Los Angeles, the biggest hotel well known, and I'm going to do my best work ever. That compounding effort and the correct decisions got me to meet a billionaire, Edmond Bessari, got me to work with him and get exposed to the biggest world of world finance that's very creative. And doing the right decision, I went up, and yeah, a few bad decisions because everything you want in life is up. So you make few up steps and one down. Okay, I made a mistake. Let me sit down, rub my nose in it, understand what I did wrong, and correct it and move on. Not dwell on it and not complain to anybody. Take full responsibility and gain control, and then move on with more knowledge. And that's the key to success is look at what are the right decisions. Look at what other people made the right decisions. The people tell me, well, you were lucky, Cherif, you met this guy. Well, really, if you want to increase your luck, the luck factor in life is in direct relation to your networking. And do you network? Do you offer people something, some value? That's why they want to network with you, to do an exchange of value. And so do you have knowledge to do it? Are you taking responsibility, getting things done, giving them results? So you can create your own luck. I mean, you should never stop taking chance in something. And if you say, well, I'm not lucky, are you taking a chance? You got to You got to reach to take a chance and improve your present condition by doing it. You
Uh,
got me all excited this morning because I had the Cocoa Puff for breakfast, so I think it's a rush of sugar.
it's it's all good. It's all good. Where can people learn more about you and follow you?
So I am reachable. I have thousands of videos on YouTube. You can put Cherif Medawar, C, it starts with a C like Charlie, okay? Cherif like Frank, and last name Medawar, Medawar. Or you can actually email us. You can actually look at cmrei.com, my website. I have a website, sharifmedawar.com as well. So in all my social media and YouTube and all this, you can email us at, you can email my vice president, Ashley at cmrei.com. Ashley, Ashlee. Ashley, Ashlee at I'm sorry, cmrei.com. CM is Sharif Medawar Real Estate Investing.com. And I think they will get a lot of free knowledge, a lot of videos. I'd like to share, I like to help people. And you can't help but getting helped. And that's just, I'm not trying to share to get help. I share out of faith. And that's how I actually ended up setting up real estate funds and all this because people said, I want to invest with you. And, and hopefully I can help others do the same thing. Just learn from me and go set up your own fund. I'll help you set it up and you grow and maybe we can do deals together, etc.